I've been listening to you for a while, so it was crazy when I saw you at my show.
Yeah, that was a gas moment. I knew about you through the Kamikaze tune, but I didn't put two and two together.
I roll up to the rave with both hands looking like pistols, and I might just cop me a brand new watch, so both wrists looking like crystals, looking like ice, or looking like...
We've got a songer. I was about to say in the building, but you're not in the building.
Nah, I'm in A building.
You're in A building.
Yeah.
We've got songer in A building. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. Like, you feel deep when you start saying you feel good because so many people are hurting. But personally, if I'm speaking for myself, I feel good. It's made me, I'm healthy, I'm active, I'm doing stuff, I'm exercising, I'm recording. The more productive I am, the better I feel with myself.
Where are you from?
From Reading, or just outside Reading. It's called Wokingham. No, it's not exciting. It's not. The good thing about where I live is there's so many people my age and everyone gets on, mostly. There's a massive community, which is partly why the reason my music took off in the first place is because locally everyone's behind it. They push it to the max, which is a sick feeling. There's nowhere near me that I can go do a show at a venue that I want to. The contacts grew. I was very lucky with the people at Black Box. The first time I ever met them, they were like, right, okay, you got something, gave me facilities to record, etc. But if I'm living comfy, this is why I can't chat about crud. I've got to find out how to chat about things that aren't crud and make them sound cruddy. What separates me as an artist, if I've got a bar, my bar is the bar because of the wordplay, the technical side. If I was just telling my story over and over again, no one would listen to it.
Your wordplay is the hardest.
That's how my brain works. Everyone's brains are good at different things. Mine is, if I'm having a conversation with one of my boys and they say something, I'll make a quick comment. That's how my brain works, like at speed, at twisting things. But then at the same time, I'm one of the dopiest people you ever meet.
How did you first get into music?
Before I wanted to be a rapper, I wanted to be a singer. And before I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be a guitar player. My dad's Oasis, Arctic Monkeys, all that kind of... I think I was 10 or 11. I went to see Tiny Temper. It was in Bournemouth. And guess who was supporting Tiny Temper? J. Cole. If you'd have asked me 5 years ago, are you going to be a rapper? I would have... no. I would have said no.
You're not trapped by one box because you'll jump on a higher tempo, you'll jump on hip-hop.
Brother, I'm not a grime artist. I'm not a hip-hop artist. I'm not a drum and bass artist. I just make music. If I hear a beat and I like the beat, I'm going to go on the beat. I don't come from a grime culture. So I think that's why it's so broad in terms of the music I make.
And that gives you so much more space to be creative as well.
Got grime, drill, hip hop, R&B, drum and bass, a song with a guitar, like, and do all of them well. That's 7 different audiences. People limit themselves too early. They get boxed in as a grime artist. It stops them being able to flourish. I probably spend more time going through instrumentals on YouTube, whatever, than I do actual music. And when I hear one, I spit on it. I don't think, oh, I'm going to make this type of track today. I'm going to make that type of track today. I was just exposed to so many different genres. I was never just a fan of one genre.
And when did you start writing lyrics?
All right, hang on. Let me get my dog out there real quick. Scarlett, get out.
Your dog's trying to steal your shine.
Yeah, trust me, bro. I mean, it's not like my dog's getting interviewed, is it? Before I was writing proper songs, I was writing punchlines down. I used to listen to bare music like James Morrison. I used to think I was the man playing my guitar, writing little songs, like 4-chord songs. J. Cole was supporting. That made me go, right, okay, I love this genre. I was still listening to Mr. Brightside. And
it's a banger, to be fair.
It's a banger, bro. But growing up, that was the music I loved, the Arctic Monkeys. I'd write songs like that, which were probably shocking. I've always been good with words, and I became fascinated with how people put them together, how people put 2 and 2 together, like the idea of a punchline. I'd just literally write down punchlines of bars. I wasn't planning on ever using them. I wasn't planning on ever being a rapper. I wasn't ever planning on anyone ever hearing them. Little play on words, little words that sounded funny backwards, little words that you could take one letter out and there'd still be a word, little words that meant 2 things. An example, I say, I'm in a game you cannot complete, you take the L and you cannot compete. I would have had that bar from young, like I'm talking probably 14, 15, sat on my phone. Same with bars like in Unique, the first thing I ever put out, and I'm odd, like backwards drama. When we were like probably 15, 16, just starting to smoke bud, like drink. I'd always put beats on, freestyle. I could freestyle for days. And every now and then one of the punchlines would work its way in that I'd had written down. I just kind of got convinced to start writing properly. Convinced by my boys, like, okay, you need to start actually write a song, see what it sounds like. And that's when I wrote Unique. That was the first thing I ever dropped. If I respat that now, because then I knew how to write but not how to rap, it would probably be one of the best things I've ever dropped because of the lyrics in it. It was literally just me going through my phone, going through that list of things I was on about. Yeah, just getting one after another and making it sound cohesive, and then thinking of a hook. And then, I don't know, then it just went from there. Just people liked it. I liked doing it. And then I just kept writing, kept using those punchlines and just started improving.
So you've been on it from young. And that's such a natural way to start as well from writing rock songs. I like that.
I wouldn't quite say rock songs, but probably like love songs to my cuddly toys and that shit.
Still got, man.
I don't know why I'm looking around like it's going to pop out, but mine was a G. Every group of lads probably does it. You know, when you first start smoking weed, you're putting on Shook Ones Part 2, Nas instrumentals, talking about absolute nonsense. It got to the point people were like, no, you're actually decent, you know. It literally just went from there. My boys persuaded me to put something out.
Yeah.
And at this point, because I already had the love for it, I never in my head thought I'm actually going to be an artist. And my black box got like 30k, 40k, and I was gassed.
It must have been an indicator to you that you were doing something right.
Exactly. It was just reassuring myself, because the problem with me is I've always been able to do it, but I just didn't know I didn't have the self-belief. I didn't have the confidence to actually, the reassurance. I was like, right, I can do something here. So I kept writing, kept getting better. Did the second black box, and on the way, I was saying to the boys, I was like, I guarantee you this one's going to hit 40k.
There it is on how many millions now?
3.7, something like that. I was scrambling, trying to finish it in the car. It was unfinished. I couldn't learn it. In there, I was so in my own head going over, couldn't remember it for shit.
That's a totally normal thing to get panicky about.
Like we were saying earlier about London, I haven't grown up around anything like that. This was all like, I don't want to say life flashed before my eyes, but like I was stood there about to do it, and I was like, whoa, what's actually going on right now? And there's 3 cameras pointing at you, and you're rapping into a microphone. And you're like, how the fuck did I get here? It still doesn't register in my head, because I still live the life I lived before I put out music. And I'm listening to all these different like legendary freestyles, not even in a cocky way at all. You look at it and you go, hang a second, my black box has got double the amount of views as that. To me, that was just something I wrote in the back of a car.
I also feel like that nervousness that you felt beforehand can turn into positive energy.
My first black box, if you watch my first black box, I literally look like I'm about to knock out the mic. I look absolutely, I look so pissed off though. And I wasn't pissed off at anything, I was just nervous. And I didn't know what I was doing. And it just came out, I was just all swinging proper, going for it. Everything was so unfamiliar, and there was no one from ends doing anything. I had no one to look and try and copy the pathway. I didn't know what I was doing, I was just winging it. But it's worked out all right. I think it's massively important to do your own thing, figure it out for yourself. Because if you figure stuff out for yourself and do your own thing, then the mistakes you make, if you just kind of follow a ready-made pathway, then you don't have the fuck-ups, and you don't learn from the fuck-ups.
Every time I say like S or like anything close to Siri, it just comes out. It's starting to piss me off now.
My advice isn't my own quote. It's start actually listening to things. The knowledge that's out there, you've got to utilize it.
100%. We have the advantage of a whole database of knowledge out there.
Yeah, so facts. Because I listen to a lot of J. Cole, like loads. They're not just words, they're not just lyrics. He's talking from his mistakes. Like, you've got an opportunity to learn from these things.
After your black boxes, how did you feel to get such a huge response?
The feeling of releasing an album, no matter how well it does, is 100 times greater than my black box hitting.
Yeah, let's talk about your album DreamWorks. It's a sick album. You have your straight grease tunes, and then you've also got a deep side as well.
Even though it doesn't even make sense, how can you write down song names before you've written a song? The idea of having an album called DreamWorks and the first bar being, you can catch me fishing on the moon at night because I'm going to make my dream work, I had before I had any other music on the album. A guy called Lotes, who runs Black Box, biggest G in the world, he always bigged it up to me. This is your Illmatic. It doesn't matter how it's received now. This is the one people go back to, they listen to, they go, okay, let's see what his debut album was like. I don't just want to release an EP here. I want this to be a proper debut album project that I love. I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of that project. Not because I think it's the best I can possibly do, just because it was exactly what I wanted. It was exactly how I envisioned it. That's rare, to envision something in your head and it actually turn out like that.
And that's the most important thing, for you to be happy with it.
You've got to trust yourself. If I can say anything from experience for me, it's back it. Trust yourself. Get past the point with, does this sound good? Yeah, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah, and that's because it's usually the things that come to you straight away, which are the best ideas, and it's the ones that you have most doubts about, in my experience.
Yeah, because you have enough time to let the doubts creep in. I wanted DreamWorks to feel like my personality. I wanted it to sound like my personality. I wanted it to sound like it had the good things about my personality, the bad things. When I feel low, when I feel high, when I get high, when I'm angry. I wanted every side of how I feel in an album. I wanted people to listen start to finish. And by the end of it, I wanted them to go, okay, I know who that Don is. In terms of how my brain works, how I feel. Like you said about the downside, if I didn't include that side to my music, I wouldn't be being an honest artist, because that's a big part of my life. So are the Gasman tunes, so's the party songs, so's the hype. So
exactly, because we have both sides to our character. We have the side of us that just wants to go out and party, and then we've got the side of us that has deep emotion. I'm jealous you've got a Magnum, man. I want one. I haven't had one in so long.
Up in Debden, I think it is, like £2.89 or something.
No way, I might have to move up there. Who are your main influences?
I would say Kamikaze is a massive influence. He's an underrated influence in people like us making music. Because, bruv, you listen to Kamikaze, the way he uses words and the way he twists words for punchlines, that's kind of was like, hang on a second, I want to do that. First proper artist to show me love as well. I remember when my Black Box Part 2 came out, and I was a big Kamikaze fan as well, and he tweeted one of my lyrics out of nowhere. It was like, she was paying but all her friends were dead, I called her Uzi. Maybe Tiny Temple was my biggest influence, because if I wasn't listening to rap music before and all of a sudden Tiny Temple comes in and he's making all these pop songs, even though it's mainly pop songs he was making, it started my spiral of getting into rap. Even though I'm not influenced by Tiny Temper as an artist, in terms of what got me here, I think Tiny Temper played as big a part as anyone. In terms of people that inspire me, like you said, J. Cole. Growing up, it was Dave.
I can see that.
Old Eminem. I'd also have to say Drake. Drake's not my favourite artist, but I like more Drake songs than any other artist in the world. If I was doing a list of songs I liked, I'd have more Drake songs on there than any other artist.
Yeah, he's consistent.
Drake makes an amazing song. I go, yeah, fair play. He's done it again. J. Cole, I would listen to a 3-hour interview and I can guarantee you, after that interview, I'm smarter. I've gained knowledge. I like listening to artists who actually benefit the way I think.
The things you listen to really assimilate.
J. Cole's my favourite rapper. I listen to him. I go, I like how your brain works. I know how your brain works and I like it. That's the beauty of music to me. That's everything that's beautiful with it. If I can have an impact on the world through making music, that's beautiful, man. Do you know what I mean? That's some serious, I care about that stuff. I also love Playboy Carti. That makes me lose brain cells. It's all very good being incredible with words, but if you don't appreciate the sound and the vibe and melodic, like floating melodies, 808s and that, huge influence on me in terms of another person I was fascinated with how his brain worked. XXX Tentacion. Music can mean 100 million different things. I think it's just important to enjoy whatever you enjoy. Yeah.
I wish I was there. I've never wanted to go to Wetherspoons this much in my whole life.
Bro, do you know what it was today? Nando's spicy rice. What I would do for some Nando's spicy rice right now is bro. I used to work at Nando's.
A lyric from the album that I thought was really interesting was when you were talking about anxiety being perceived differently if it's a girl to when it's a boy.
Boys and girls, they're so different. They're like different species. It's unreal. But I've got better as I've grown up in terms of I write it down. There's a stigma in boys where
men find it hard to express their emotions. And you don't hear that a lot on songs because people are scared to say that.
I want how I am on the table. At this point with my friends, we talk about that shit with no stigma, to the point where you would just message a boy, say, yeah, you good, bro. Usually it does come out when you're licked or fucked up or whatever. Those conversations are my favourite conversations. When I can speak to one of my boys and we're both off our face and we're talking to each other about the realest shit in the whole world, they're the moments I live for. If I can speak to my boy and we're literally both like fucking, let's call it smash, they're the precious moments in the world, man. If I put my problems on someone else, I feel like guilt. I feel like you shouldn't be stressing about my problems, and then you start doubting yourself, and it's just a downward circle. When I released Fabregas Freestyle the other day, I posted on Instagram and someone commented, it was like, oh, my days, the ego. I've liked all the positive comments and stuff, but I saw that comment, I was like, hang on a second, I don't have a fucking ego. I started going back and forth with this Don about having an ego. And then I'm like, hang on a second, of course I've got an ego because I'm battling with someone because he said I've got an ego.
Cliche thing, if they're taking the time out of their day to comment that, then they have a fucking ego. You're getting so much positive feedback. It's that one negative one. It's like a bit of orange juice mixed in with water. You're going to taste the orange juice more.
I like that.
That was poetic. That was poetic.
That was more than poetic. Mate.
Just one fucker.
I've got the best similar kind of example of something which is going to blow your mind, unless you've already heard it. Do you know why sniffer dogs at festivals are fucking useless? If you walk into a room and everyone in that room, there's 12 people at a table, and everyone at that table is eating spaghetti bolognese, you'll be able to smell spaghetti bolognese, but you're not going to be able to smell whose spaghetti bolognese belongs to who, are you? If everyone's queuing up to get into a festival and everyone's got drugs on them, the dogs are going to they're going to smell it like crazy, but they're not going to know who's got it because everyone's got it.
Those sniffer dogs are purely to intimidate.
Sniffer dogs should be unemployed, mate. They're useless. They don't work, I'm telling you. Well,
Bro, I spent so much time trying to find a job earlier this year.
Yeah, be a sniffer.
Meanwhile, you've got fucking sniffer dogs being employed. Do you know what I mean?
All looks back. It is in you. You get drawn to negative comments.
The negative part of yourself.
I like the fact that there is now people who think, "Oh fuck, someone, fuck him. He's this, he's that." I love that. That's a sick feeling to me.
It means you're doing something right. If you piss someone off with your music that hard, it means they care about you. It's because they're sitting in their yard doing piss all. I got a call, from this crazy fucker who went to my old school. He was just trying to take the piss out of my music. I was having this back and forth with him, and I just felt like I had to say something back. I had to get into this back and forth. But then you just remind yourself, he leaves all these little comments on my videos on Vivo, so I can't delete them. We've got a tune dropping soon. It's called Grease.
We get 30,000 likes.
I'll think about dropping Grease if we get 30,000 likes.
I miss my fucking people. My people just want to live it up. I will take my time till I die because I know I'm sick enough. I've been feeling down and it's just because I want my figures up. One girl call me cocky. It's peak because she think I give a fuck. Miss my fucking people. My people just want to live it up. I will take my time till I die because I know I'm sick enough. I've been feeling down and it's just because I want my figures up. One girl call me cocky. It's peak because she think I give a fuck. Yeah. Don't care about bars right now. Just want flotation, rolling loud or Afro Nation, but I can't get vacation. Deforestation, I'm blazing, that smells amazing. You're facing the fucking pavement, just face it, that wasn't flavors. Yeah, that wasn't flavors, that was spicy backy. Hand in my trackie, yeah, ripped off a Maggie. Yeah, and so on. I
like that.
But with the beat, it's a vibe, bro. It's a vibe.